Good morning. Another day, another 12-hour shift. Time to clock in and grab my first batch of orders. Package for Henderson Street, another one for Maple Avenue, and oh, great, an apartment complex with no buzzer codes listed. My favorite. You'd think after doing this for 3 years I'd be used to it, but every single day brings something new, something frustrating, something bizarre, or if I'm really unlucky, both at the same time. Let me load up the van. 40 packages today. Not terrible, but not easy either. The algorithm says I can finish this route in 6 hours. The algorithm has clearly never driven through downtown traffic during lunch rush, or dealt with a German shepherd that thinks I'm a threat to national security. First stop. Residential house, package on the porch, snap a photo, back to the van. Easy. This is the kind of delivery that makes the job almost peaceful. No complications, no drama, just drop it and move on. Second stop. Oh no, it's one of those houses. You know the type. The delivery instructions say leave it by the front door, but there are 3 different entrances and none of them look like the main one. I pick the most obvious option, take my photo, and pray I guessed correctly. 50-50 chance I'll get a complaint later about how I left it at the wrong door. But what am I supposed to do, knock and ask? That defeats the entire purpose of contactless delivery. Third stop is an office building. I hate office buildings. The address says Suite 212, but the directory in the lobby lists about 40 different companies, and none of them match the name on the package. I call the customer. No answer. I text them. Nothing. Great, I'll leave it at the front desk and hope for the best. Traffic is already backing up and it's only 9:30 in the morning. Some genius decided to do road construction on the main route, so now I'm stuck behind a garbage truck going 15 miles per hour. My delivery window is shrinking by the minute. The app is pinging me. New priority delivery needs to arrive within the next hour. It's completely off my route, of course. Why would anything be convenient? I reroute and start heading across town, watching my fuel gauge drop lower and lower. Gas comes out of my own pocket, by the way. Just one of those little details they don't mention in the job listing. I arrive at the priority address. It's a massive mansion behind a security gate. I press the intercom button. Nothing. I press it again. Still nothing. I'm about to call the customer when the gate suddenly swings open. No explanation, no voice on the intercom, just an open gate. Slightly creepy, but whatever. I drive up the long driveway and park near the entrance. The front door opens before I even get out of the van. A woman stands there, arms crossed, looking irritated. I grab the package and walk up to her. She doesn't say hello. She just points at the box and says, "This was supposed to be here yesterday." I check the label. It clearly shows today's date. I tell her this as politely as possible. She's not having it. She insists she paid for overnight delivery, and this is unacceptable. I apologize even though it's not my fault, because that's what we do. We apologize for things we didn't do wrong. She snatches the package from my hands and slams the door. No thank you. No acknowledgement that I just drove 20 minutes out of my way to bring this to her. Just a door in my face. Back to the van. Back to the route. 28 packages left and the day is barely halfway over. My back is already starting to ache from all the lifting. My phone buzzes with another message from dispatch. They want to know why I'm running behind schedule. I glance at the message and don't bother responding. What am I supposed to say? I'm behind because your routing system is garbage and you keep adding priority deliveries that throw off the entire schedule. They know this. Everyone knows this. But we pretend like it's somehow my fault for not being superhuman. Next stop is an apartment complex. 4th floor, no elevator. Naturally, the package weighs at least 40 pounds. I hoist it onto my shoulder and start climbing. By the 2nd floor, my legs are burning. By the 3rd floor, I'm genuinely questioning my life choices. I reach the door, knock twice, and wait. No answer. I knock again. Nothing. I check the delivery instructions. Leave at door if no answer. Fine by me. I set it down, snap my photo, and head back to the stairwell. As I'm descending, I hear the door open behind me. A voice yells out asking if I can bring it inside for them. I pretend I don't hear and keep walking. Not part of the job description. The afternoon drags on. More houses, more apartments, more businesses that can't seem to figure out how to receive a package. One guy meets me at the door in his underwear. Doesn't acknowledge it, doesn't apologize, just signs for his delivery like this is completely normal. Another woman tries to hand me her outgoing mail. I explain 3 times that I'm not a postal worker before she finally understands. Around 3 in the afternoon, I realize I haven't eaten anything since 6 this morning. There's no time for a lunch break. I grab a protein bar from my bag and eat it while driving to the next stop. It tastes like cardboard, but it'll have to do. My phone buzzes again. Another priority delivery. This one needs to arrive in 30 minutes. It's on the opposite side of town. I do the math in my head. Even with no traffic, which never happens, I'll barely make it. I push down on the accelerator and start weaving through lanes. I arrive with 2 minutes to spare. The customer isn't home. I call them. They answer and casually mention they're still at work and won't be back for another hour. They ask if I can wait. I tell them no, I have other deliveries. They get annoyed. I get annoyed. We're all annoyed. I leave the package at the door and move on. The sun is starting to set by the time I finish my last delivery. My entire body aches. My eyes are strained from staring at the GPS all day. I drive back to the depot and start the process of checking everything in. Scanning devices, undelivered packages, damage reports. It takes another 45 minutes. I finally clock out at 7 in the evening. 13 hours for a shift that was supposed to be 10. I sit in my car for a moment before starting the engine. My phone lights up with tomorrow's schedule. Same thing all over again. Same chaos, same impossible expectations, same lack of appreciation. I think about the woman who slammed the door in my face. I think about the guy in his underwear. I think about every single person who treated me like I was invisible today. Then I start the car and drive home. Because that's what we do. We show up, we deliver, we endure. Tomorrow I'll wake up and do it all again. The packages never stop coming. Behind schedule because I had to drive across town for someone who wasn't even home. Behind schedule because the routing made no sense. Behind schedule because that's just how it is in this job. You're always behind, always rushing, always one delivery away from getting a complaint. I drive home in silence. Too tired for music, too drained for podcasts. Just the hum of the engine and the streetlights passing overhead. My apartment is dark when I arrive. I don't bother turning on the lights, just kick off my shoes, collapse on the couch, and stare at the ceiling. My phone sits on the coffee table. I know what's on it. Tomorrow's route already loaded and waiting. Another 40 packages, another impossible schedule, another day of being yelled at for things I can't control. But here's what nobody tells you about this job. It's not the physical exhaustion that gets to you. It's not even the rude customers or the terrible pay. It's the invisibility. You spend all day moving through the world, interacting with dozens of people, and not a single one of them sees you as human. You're just the delivery guy, a function, a service, replaceable. I close my eyes and try not to think about how many more years I can do this. How many more packages, how many more stares, how many more doors slammed in my face. The honest answer is I don't know. None of us do. We just show up because the alternative is worse. Tomorrow the alarm will go off at 5 in the morning. I'll drag myself out of bed, put on the same uniform, and do it all over again. The packages are already waiting.